Alright guys, today we're going to be making some awesome burgers. Now I'm going to make these slider size because I have slider size buns, but you can make these whatever size you want. We're going to start off with the dry ingredients, then I'll throw in and show the mixing and everything. But I've made these the past couple days, well a couple days ago I made a batch and I've eaten them for the past couple days. Really amazing. So to start, just get some ground beef, whatever type you like. I just got normal ground beef chuck. And we're going to start with the dry ingredients. Of course, we're going to add some salt and pepper. Go ahead and add that to my bowl. Now, you don't have to be exact on any of this. This is just kind of an estimate on everything. Just put in some salt and pepper. Then I've got some onion powder and some garlic powder. This one's not open. Thought I had an open garlic powder in there. Maybe not. I'll open this one up. Garlic powder. And then I have this other seasoning I use on a lot. It's just a all-in-one seasoning. It's got salt, peppercorn, ground mustard, seed, onion, green pepper, red pepper, garlic, and chili pepper. It's just a mixture of flavors that I like to add to lots of things. So just put a little of that in. If you don't have something like this, you don't need it. If you have some steak or burger seasoning, you could use a little bit of that. It's basically going to do the same idea. And then we're going to have our wet ingredients. And we actually have one more dry, which is something you guys probably would never put in a burger. But I like to put a little bit of this in because I like to make really juicy burgers, and this helps make them stay together, and you'll see when we cook them how juicy they are. So we don't add a lot of this. I'm using a pound of ground beef. I'm going to throw in just like a handful of stuffing mix. I picked the savory herb stuffing mix. You can use whatever flavor you decide to use, but I prefer the savory herb, and you can use any type of stuffing. I prefer stuffing over breadcrumbs because it's bigger. You're not going to crunch into these. These are going to get absorbed with water, the liquid, so then it's not going to be crunchy in the burger or anything. It mixes in really nice. Then for the wet ingredients, a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. Now this is wine and pepper Worcestershire, but you can use the standard. I just don't have any standard at home, and I just put in couple dollops of that, an egg, then we're going to add a little bit of milk. Again, not much. I'd say probably between an eighth and a fourth of a cup, maybe less, like an eighth of a cup. Not very much. And then a little bit of ketchup. And a little bit of mustard, but I grabbed the wrong mustard. I prefer to use some strong mustard, and I have either this one, which I use this mustard all the time. I really recommend it. It's called, I don't know if I can say that name, but that's what it is. And really good stuff. Also have this stuff called strong Irish mustard. This stuff is very strong tasting. It's really yummy though. So whatever mustard you want. You can use plain yellow, but I prefer to have a little bit more taste. So I like this stone ground mustard where you have the mustard seeds. This one's almost empty, so just put in a little bit. Don't need a lot. So we added some liquids there that are going to keep everything moist. Now all we have to add is our beef. So let me go ahead and cut that open. And then, once this is in there, it's going to be a little messy. You're going to have to wash your hands afterwards. But all we're going to do now is mix this. And just do it with your hands, kind of like you're mixing a meatloaf. It's kind of a similar thing. And we're just going to mix everything together really well, so it's all consistent. And this will take a second. So I might, well, I don't think I need to skip the video because I'm almost done here. but I do need to get cheese out. So I'm going to finish mixing this, and then we'll come back and show you the last couple steps here before we cook. Alright, so we're all mixed up and we're ready to make our patties. So again, you can make full-size burgers or slider-size burgers. I have slider buns and I like to make smaller burgers. I mean, I like to make big burgers too, but just right now I want to make the smaller ones. So what I like to do is get some out, and then I'll just put a little cheese inside. I'll usually top them with cheese as well while they're grilling, but I'll usually just throw a little bit of cheese inside here. Just fold over it. And as simple as that, we have our first slider ready. Just trying to cover up the cheese good there. And now we just keep going and keep making them. Really simple. This one I might have a little too much meat. Put it down here. And I'll just take a little cheese, throw it inside, cover the cheese. And then second slider is ready. And we just keep going and making more and more. So you don't need to see me make every single one. But as you can see, these are really, really wet. They'll hold together just fine. They're not falling apart, but they're really, really moist and really wet. So that's going to be awesome when we cook. They're going to stay really moist. Plus you shouldn't overcook anyways. For sliders, I'm going to cook these just about 2 minutes on the first side, 3 minutes on the second. If you make big burgers, probably cook them about 3 minutes on the first side, 5 minutes on the second side. So I'm going to finish up here, and then we'll go out and grill these up and see how they look. The only thing you're going to want, of course, after cooking as well, is your toppings, which I have a tomato slice and some onions to throw on, and then your ketchup and mustard, and if you want lettuce or whatever. I also have pickles in the fridge. So again, let me go ahead and finish, and we'll go outside and cook them up. Alright guys, we're about to go grill. I just wanted to mention before grilling to get your grill hot. Kind of like an indoor stove. If you have a propane grill, don't just turn it on and start cooking. Give it about 7 to 10 minutes to heat up. I like to give it at least 10 minutes to make sure it's fully hot. And I cook burgers on a medium-high heat, so I'm almost at high, just a little bit under high. You want a nice hot grill. If you're using charcoal, then you're just using charcoal, and that's a pretty hot grill usually. It just depends how much charcoal you use. So I got my plate here to cook with. I'm going to toast my bun. I know I've got raw meat and bun on the same plate, but I'm keeping those separate, and I'm going to toast this a bit. And then I got my plate to eat off of here with the stuff I'm going to put on my burger. So let's go outside of the grill in a couple minutes once it's hot enough and cook this up. Alright, we're going to cook the first side now for 2 minutes, and then we'll come back and flip. Alright, it's been 2 minutes. Flip it over. Now we're going to cook it 3 more minutes. Alright, it's been 3 minutes, so now we're going to do the last step, which is to flip it one last time, put the cheese on, and also toast your bun if you want to. And we'll just let that cook for about another minute to get the cheese melted and the toast done, bread done. Alright, good bread. Take our burger, and let's go ahead inside and check it out. Alright, it smells awesome. I'm going to go ahead and assemble my burger, and then we'll cut it in half so we can go ahead and take a look at how it looks in the middle and how it looks cut in half. But it smells great. I've eaten these already before. Like I said, I've used this recipe. Throw on a couple onions here. And we'll throw on our pickle, tomato, lettuce, and our burger top. And there we have really awesome, oops, shaky, really awesome burger there. You might be able to hear my dog. He wants some. He knows I made some, and I always make him burgers too. Let's go ahead and just cut it in half. And yes, I did wash this knife that I opened the raw meat with. And let me see here. And there we go. Super, oops, lost the top. Super easy to make. Very simple, healthy. Make it at home, you know what's going into it. And as you can see there, even with just 2 and 3 minutes, the burger's basically well done there. So you don't want to overcook. That was just a 5-minute cook. If you have bigger burgers, you might want to cook like 3 minutes the first side and 5 minutes the second side. But you're going to have to adjust to your grill and adjust to the temperature that you want the burgers cooked at. Just don't overcook them, they'll dry out like crazy. These are just about a normal well done. And it should be super tasty. You can see everything going on inside there. So, that is my burger recipe. I made sliders here. But, super simple. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, happy cooking.